Oh god, we're back with this game. Due to popular request, we have returned one more time to this game to play its DLC. That being the Seasonal Worker DLC.
Is that freaky supervisor going to return? I didn't really like her. She gave me chills.
Talking about Carol, it'd be weird if she weren't in the DLC, so expect her presence somewhat.
We're gonna do this thing in one sitting. Splitting it into multiple episodes wouldn't feel right. Plus, I heard it's short, so there's that I'm considering.
I hope Krampus isn't in this DLC. I always fear it'll be him that enters my house and not some fat creepy bastard in a red outfit who only kids get to see in the middle of the night coincidentally. Sorry, I'm yapping.
So what the hell happened to our character? Did we die? How come we're a woman named Rebecca now?
Probably a long-time employee that wasn't in the office when we were there. Just a thought. Yeah, thought so. Rebecca only comes in during the week leading to Christmas. How the hell does she make ends meet otherwise?
I have a sneaky suspicion she has an OnlyFans. How would I know exactly? That's how most young women end up nowadays when nobody hires them.
Seems we got an overly friendly coworker named Rodney that probably has a crush on Rebecca but can never tell her due to anxiety, or I've read too many romance novels.
Well, I hope y'all are ready for some newer freaky shit to pick. It'll definitely be Christmas related. That sound bite still gives me anxiety. And what the hell is that up there? A cheer bar. Fuck, so if we make a mistake, the cheer goes down and we could lose. Awesome. Where's Carol so we can get her out of the way as per usual?
We got some new stuff to pick already, being thrown into the deep end without a life jacket. What a way to begin.
Does anyone remember their lines for when someone calls? I hope we remember before the first one.
Nice touch there, game. Who's calling?
It is I, Carol. It is good to have you back in our employ, Rebecca. Thou art a lifesaver every season, and thy yearly return is appreciated as always. I, of course, have no need to tell you how things work here, but I will remind you that we are hosting our annual office Christmas party again the day after Christmas. It would please me to see you there. We're all counting on you, Rebecca.
We can clearly see that she has not changed and is still broken beyond repair. I just tune her out now. I hope all the callers are normal at least, and not some weird fucks in black robes again.
Right? Well, we can just pretend she's not there and focus on our job. We've got a lot more stuff to study.
We got to start off Christmas month with a banger.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Can you send over an electrician? Our lights keep flickering off, and we're trying to get our Christmas tree ready for when our folks arrive.
We were just on Pine Sprites out of curiosity, and the description matches what he said, so let's go with that.
I have no arguments against that. We're doing this in one shot, so the more you guys are paying attention, the better.
Glad to know you actually can rely on me for information for once.
What was that? Oh, sorry. When I meant you guys, I meant Obama and the audience, not you, Joe.
Didn't take long for that correction. What a complete jackass.
To be fair, though, that was to be expected.
Holy fuck, look at the amount of new shit we have to know. Almost all of them are supernatural as well. This is gonna be tough.
Oh, it's huge! I saw it scurry into the cupboard. Expect for more! Send someone over quickly!
That just sounds like a regular mouse to me. Supernatural, my ass. I'm sure there's a good explanation for all of these.
Okay, now I'm confused. Joe, you said you didn't want to see Supervisor Carol because of her freaky lingo. Now, you're just trying to be skeptical of these entries. It's like you're not being consistent.
I've always been the skeptical one. I just didn't like Carol and how she spoke. Why else did you think I let Ukraine use our weapons to hit inside Russia? I was skeptical that Russia would actually do anything other than talk big.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. These snow golems just sound like some drunken uncle crashing through a home. Some of these sound examples don't really do justice to some of these cryptids.
I do hear some slipping and sliding around like they're on blocks of ice, so I somewhat believe it.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
I think some kids are building some forts on our property. I'm looking at a bunch of big tall mounds outside our house, just coming from about every angle. I need someone to come and take these down for me. I'd do it myself, but I'm currently recovering from a back injury after slipping on something wet in my living room this morning.
You see, what did I tell you? These things slip and slide around, leaving wet residue when moving. Most definitely these are snow golems.
Does that mean Frosty the Snowman and Jack Frost are cryptids? Have they been dangerous the whole time?
I mean, you never know Joe. Frosty liked kids quite a bit, and Jack Frost only existed as punishment for being a shitty father. Wait, so according to this, the twilight is the most dangerous phenomenon ever. So every time someone has witnessed the aurora borealis that we were being affected by the twilight. Guess we're lucky to be alive then. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
The wild man is real. I've seen him. I've seen him. I know you people know about things like this. I know what you really do. I have photos. We can get these out in front of the public. The people need to know. Please, help me get this out to the world before it's too late. I know he's been tracking me.
So this guy likely broke the rule of never speaking about a Bogart, and by seeing the new Forgotten Bogart entry, I can assume he really fucked up now, and this thing won't leave him alone ever now. Sucks to suck, Eric Snowden wannabe!
I feel sorry for that dog that has the red nose. Hope they become the best boy or girl when it's gone.
Some of these entries are kind of wacko. I mean, one of them is called a sugar wisp, and all it does, it make you crave more candy. That's what all candy is meant to do. Common knowledge, man.
Of course, only you would know that because you're candy crazy. I tend to notice it when you don't have ice cream. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Please help. Can't move. Too weak. Need more. Need more.
Let's see. What did I tell you?
Please hold.
Dude's on a candy craze, and he just wants more candy since he's got none now. Call it a sugar wisp or whatever. He just needs more candy and likely O.J. Simpson like dental insurance.
I guess I should take back what I said about Joe not being useful. I mean, he's still not quite there in terms of being totally useful, but it's stuff like this that he relates to that can help out a lot. You got this one, Joe. But don't expect me to expect you to get the others.
Expect the unexpected, my friend.
Shut up. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Yeah. So, there's strange noises coming from our basement. I don't know what's down there, but I can hear it scurrying around and making little scratching noises at night. I don't dare go down myself, but my wife said she found little round pellets or something down there.
Mice again. What's going on here with all the mice calls? 2 in 1 day isn't really normal, at least for this place.
You never know, Don. This time of year, when the temperature drops below freezing, is when you'll see a lot of critters seek shelter to not freeze to death.
Except they don't know that getting a boot to the body or being shot in a house is much more painful than simply freezing. Don't ask me how I know that.
Oh God, Rodney is one of those gullible people, right? The ones that believe anything they see on Facebook as legitimate. What a loser.
Well, if I know anything, people like him don't get laid and become incels. One of the worst things to be on the internet.
Don't tell me elves are bad in this universe. I thought they were happy little Santa slaves.
With them being able to lower the immune response of humans, allowing them to get sick much more easily, I can confidently say they're not good to have around. Maybe that's why Santa almost never visits his elves in the workshop.
Greetings, Rebecca. It is Carol again. There have been reports of some new activity, so we have gone ahead and made some new information available to thee. I pray things are going well thus far. Thou knowest as well as I what is at stake. I do hope to see thee soon, Rebecca.
Can we hire the crew of Undercover Boss to try and expose Carol? She clearly isn't fit to lead as she still speaks in older English instead of speaking professionally.
If this is supposed to be Hans, then where's Gretel? You can't have one and not the other.
You're thinking of Hansel and Gretel. This is just some cryptid named Hans.
This thing's name sounds like pussy.
Except instead of pleasure, this thing will steal the warmth of your body and leave you frozen to death.
That's an average weekend for me.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
I need someone to come fix our windows. I fear there's a terrible draft coming in, and I wouldn't want anyone at my second family gathering to catch a cold. I'm hosting at least 20 additional family members, and I need this place locked tight for their sakes. I've already caught something dreadful during our last hosted function, and I don't intend for it to happen again.
We must be super lucky since that's exactly what elves do.
Please
Easy
hold.
shit, next client.
I'll look at mall elves differently from now on, that's for sure. They're likely the reason we all get sick after visiting malls during the holidays.
Definitely not from the mouth breathers that walk through the mall and Gen Alpha kids coughing with their mouths open.
If the next generation is called Gen Sigma, I will nuke the world. That shit would be cursed. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Oh, God, I'm dead. I'm dead and I'm only 33. Please say I can change this. Please say I can change it!
On a side note, aren't mares supposed to be only dangerous when the lights are off? And when they are in light, they have to turn them off to stay powerful.
That's from Phasmophobia. This is probably a closer example of a mare if it were real. Now, for this guy, I think this time wisp would be the culprit since it can alter someone's mental state to something dreadful sometimes, I think.
Close, but not quite. See, time wisp's tendency towards temporal displacement, while sometimes beneficial, can often result in causing intense anxiety or stress in those that have witnessed their fates to be.
So this little Tinkerbell wannabe made this guy think he's dead. Sounds kind of harsh for just a one-night stand. Although I've heard worse horror stories.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
There's some kind of dying animal in our yard. Can you send someone out to put it out of its misery? It's been screaming like hell for the past hour, and I'm far too squeamish to go look at it or touch it myself. My son is only 10 years old, and he's very worried about the poor thing, so please hurry.
Mares tend to do that in this universe, and the solution is to let them devour your fridge or never answer the door. If little Timmy opens the door, then that's how the luck of the draw is for that night.
This thing's harmless to humans, so I don't know why you would word it like that. I mean, it might scare the living shit out of the kid and make him or her never approach the front door or any four-legged animal ever again, but they won't be food for this thing.
What I am curious about are these false carolers. They're on the poster for this DLC, so they must be hyped up.
Whoever does the art for this game is amazing. Unless it's AI art, then I take it back.
Yeah, that's unsettling. I wouldn't want to hear that outside my door, at least not without something to shoot them with. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
I think Betty's cat is on the prowl. I need someone to come put that beast down. First, Betty doesn't show up to the PTA meeting this week, and now it seems her cat is on the loose again, leaving its disgusting feastfuls of feathers behind on neighbors' porches.
Well, that cat is now dinner to these things. Glad it wasn't a human kid, or that'd be even more horrifying. I'd feel more bad if I were a cat person, though. Commander has my heart over any cat.
Well, not since he bites your hand or wipes his ass on the Oval Office rug, then he'd be public enemy number one, right? He's made some people in the White House his personal chew toys.
All deserved. You should always have a pocket full of treats before greeting Commander. It's the in-house rule.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
I think there's some kind of mold problem in our house. I keep finding this nasty kind of thick slime residue near the air vents, and I think it's scaring the pets. Our poor cat hasn't wanted to come back inside yet, so I need this fixed as soon as possible.
Well, your little friend is likely a frozen statue now, since Lucy likely got a hold of it and took its warmth away from it. Oh, well, I'm sure you can find another little friend off of Craigslist or something like that.
It'll be a sad day in internet history if Craigslist were to go down for good.
Why though? The site is a barely legal Silk Road, and if anyone here knows that other site, no you do not.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Oh my god, I think there's an avalanche outside! Our home is right below the mountain! Please send someone over before it's too late!
I am inclined to say that this poor individual experienced an avalanche and is likely dead. Oh well, found the cause. Moving on to the next client. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
The doctors told me to call here. I think I caught some kind of dog disease. My neighbor's freak dog sneezed on me or something, and now it's growing on me. I can feel it underneath my skin, this horrid little bump forming. It's hurting very badly. Please, can you tell me what to do?
Best advice we can give is that you can apply to clown college or some birthday parties for kids, since that shit's not going away until it wants to. Make some money off of it, be sensational. Other than that, just wait it out.
I've seen the movie Clone where main guy tries to rip his off, and it was a brutal fucking scene. Never do that. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Someone is coming into my home. Your security cameras broke on me, so I can't see who it is. I can hear their shoes squeaking or something in the footage when they came in to steal my Santa outfit. Do you have some kind of policy compensating your customers for selling them faulty equipment?
More so the fact that we don't want footage of these cryptids getting out. Secret shit, you know. Anyway, have fun with your troll, my guy.
We've seen some quote-unquote normal stuff so far. I hope things ramp up tomorrow. So far, it's been meh.
I just want someone else to replace Carol for a day or two. Hearing her voice is like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Your voice does that to me, and yet I still don't remove you or anything. So sit tight and accept it like a man, Joe.
Except we're clearly role-playing as a woman in this game.
Shut the fuck up! My God, you're annoying!
The hell are these Yule things? The devs must have a bomb-ass mythical historian researching all these things.
Hudson here, HSH Pest Control. Listen up. The Mouse King is loose, and it's our understanding he means to stir up trouble of the Yuletide variety. My boys are working around the clock to find him and stop him in his tracks before things get too hairy, but sometimes things slip through the cracks. Little things, if you get my meaning. If you hear anything strange, let us know as soon as you can. There's new data coming your way. Read it carefully. Keep those eyes peeled. Hudson out.
His voice is so soothing compared to Carol's. Hold on, why can't anyone with a brain cell just stomp out the Mouse King if he's so dangerous? He's just a normal mouse with a bigger title, right?
Whatever you think is not normal in this universe. A simple tiny insect like an ant could be a galactic ruler. Kinda like the cat from Men in Black that had a galaxy on its necklace.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
We need someone to come check our house for damage. I think I felt an earthquake last night. And this morning, I noticed those godless Hendersons across the street crying about something with the police. So I'm fairly sure whatever happened must have been enough to damage our property.
Well, it's not an avalanche because you're still alive, but the shaking could be coming from a steam train. That train likely took the kid that got too curious. If their faith is high enough, however, they will return tomorrow. If they are an atheist or non-believer, then rip.
It's not this caller's kid that got caught in it, so he doesn't care. He'll just go brag to them that a train took off with their kid who may or may not return.
So what do you guys think we're going to do for Christmas this year? We already ranked Christmas films last year, and doing a re-upload of that doesn't seem right. October was full of scary games, which is easy to cover, but December, outside of some Christmas-themed Black Ops 3 Zombies maps, I don't know how we'll cover an entire month of Christmas content.
I have been robbed. Someone broke into my house and completely cleaned out the fridge and cabinets last night. There's wine all over my floors, discarded milk jugs. It's absolutely disgusting. I demand a refund for this useless home security package you people sold me. It's only good for hearing thieves cackle after the fact.
These are Yulemen, obnoxious little shits. Anyway, I sorta have an idea for Christmas-themed videos, and we are not doing Dead Rising 4. Again, that was stupid. Might have to rely on Black Ops 3 for a couple videos, though.
I am intrigued to see what the Christmas maps are, though. Some look pretty damn good, and we didn't want to touch them until now.
Also, big shout out to the AI Force 1 Discord channel we joined. They are super welcoming, and if you want to join, we'll leave a link in the description.
It's in my cornflakes. It's in the ceiling. It's in my coffee. God, it's in the wallpaper. Oh, please, make it go away. Make this godforsaken demon go away.
This dude is terrified of a goat drawing on stuff in his house. I mean, other than it causing paranoia and sleep deprivation, I just adjust to the new decor of the place, at least before I burn it to the ground. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Everything is shaking. Please, send help. Oh, God!
Lady, you need to calm down. We can't help you if you're screaming. Fuck it. Probably another avalanche.
Those are becoming as common as mice these days. Is there a connection? No clue. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Hudson here. Pay attention. I've got word from the boys that the Mouse King was last seen wearing a disguise. I repeat, the Mouse King has gone incognito. Be on the lookout for any conspicuous individuals of a rodent-adjacent variety. Hudson out.
This Mouse King guy seems to be pretty serious to give even the home safety hotline pest control a hard time. What does he even look like normally?
Just a normal mouse. The fuck is this? Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Hey, I think some kind of wild animal's in my house. Our poor wooden floors are scratched to hell and back, and there's a bunch of sap and needles and stuff littered around the place. Please, could you send somebody over to find this thing and get it the hell out of my place? Hey, sit. Quiet, boy. Sit down, hey.
Luckily for you, we just saw what the Belsnickel does, and when you said sap pine and needles, that gave us a major clue. Have fun with that creepy fucker. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Please, you have to help me. I think my husband has joined some kind of cult. He's not acting like himself lately, and I found what looked like satanic symbols in the attic, along with what looked like a scarecrow in the center.
I think the Hans guy is behind this. How do I know this? He's not as friendly as he's portrayed in the fairy tale with his sister, Gretel.
I mean, there are other reasons why this is likely a Hans, but whatever, I'll accept that argument. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Our house is falling apart. The floorboards are cracking, the doors aren't closing properly, and nothing is draining anymore. Something very strange is happening, and I suspect it has something to do with my neighbor's renovation project. I've been seeing people hauling around giant rocks all week. Who knows if they damaged something on my property?
Lady, you need to wait a fucking minute. She needs to offer gold or her firstborn child. The hell is wrong with this thing? I guess the only other solution is to vacate or something, since that's fucked up. Worst one yet! Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Someone stole our competition out from under us. I know it's those no-good Derricksons. They've always been jealous of us taking the annual Grand Gingerbread Master Award. Oh, rather than improve their own skills, they decided to break into our home last night and steal our post office. I found poor little postman Peter collapsing pieces on the floor, right next to a big hole with the burned remains of our post office inside. The police won't do anything. Can you come and perform a citizen's arrest?
Looks like the gingerbread got animated and started being a menace. I am a bit disappointed that not every entry is selected in calls, but I hope one day that the devs introduce an endless or randomized feature so you never get the same experience every playthrough.
How did you know it's animation, though?
They look like gingerbread in the photo, and it's close to Christmas, so it checks out in my mind.
I haven't had any gingerbread in a while. Now I have a slight craving for it after remembering the taste.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
I'm not sure who else to call about this, but, something very weird is going on in our neighborhood. Some strange man in a large trench coat and Halloween mask is going around ringing neighbors' doors, carrying some kind of paper or notes. He hasn't come to my house yet, but I'm very afraid of what they might be up to. Pepper, stop scratching the door. He's going to think we're home.
This is gonna sound real fucking stupid, but what if this one's the Mouse King? Hudson did say that he's in disguise, and someone showing up in a trench coat is not normal, unless it's your edgy goth kid who thinks they're Blade or something.
I don't get how something I can crush under my foot and poison with obvious rat poison is considered to be a super dangerous entity. If that's the case, Adventure Tale is a fucking propaganda film from Disney. Mickey Mouse is the mastermind. Holy shit, the plot thickens? Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
I need you to send out someone to change out our locks. My mother-in-law has finally gone far enough, and I've had it with her. I don't know how, but I think she's managed to get a copy of my key to come in and leave these creepy little dolls for my kids at night. I saw that old bag myself on the security camera. It's a bit fuzzy, but I can make out those crony old arms of hers.
I don't know about you, but if my mother-in-law looked like a literal mythical hag, I'd just assume she went off her meds again. Plus, she gives free shit. Leave her alone. Ungrateful bastard. All right, guys, it's Christmas Day. I mean, in the game, not now. But we need to pull up our A game so we can conquer this DLC 100%.
So far, it's been kind of smooth sailing. A couple were a bit tricky, but we pulled through. I wonder if we'll get Krampus today.
Please no, that would be cursed for me.
It might not be Krampus himself, but something akin to Krampus, since we got both the saint and the sinner to deal with. I'm betting the sinner is Krampus, though.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
Shut up. Don't answer him, Hudson.
Hudson here. We almost had him, but that little royal pain has given us the slip. He was last seen hightailing it towards the head office with his swarm in tow. I repeat, you have a whole gaggle of mice coming your way. My boys are coming in to break the walls down. We're gonna seize the king no matter what. Tell your buddies up at IT they're gonna have plenty of work ahead of them tomorrow. That's how it has to be. Hudson out.
So our office is now surrounded by the Mouse King and his little shitstain army. Great. I might as well cook grenades and drop them out the windows then. That'll do the trick. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Greetings, Rebecca. I'm certain that you've seen the skies today. The light's gaze has fallen upon us. I'm calling to wish you and the rest of the caller response team the best of fortunes. I know I need not remind thee that this day is one of great import, and is to be treated with the utmost gravity. Spread much merriment, and cheer to all you can, and I hope to see you all on the morrow.
Oh, right, because of the twilight that can feed on humanity and almost destroy the world on the week towards Christmas. Right, well, let's just treat the day as normal then. Can't do much anyway.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Some Christmas-hating hooligan has broken into our house. I heard them fiddling around last night with God knows what and came downstairs to find they disappeared. They even drank all the milk we left out for Santa. Thankfully, my kids are none the wiser.
Hobbs drink milk at night, don't they? I mean, you can still tell the kids that Santa drank the milk. Doesn't perturb their minds, I don't think.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Is it normal for a northern lights to show up in broad daylight for us folks in Texas? The sky's been looking real strange all day. Could a power plant be leaking nearby or something? Looks like the sky went all radioactive, if you know what I mean.
Our best advice is to stay indoors so you don't get got by the twilight, as well as being happy and cheerful and not mad, sad, or drab.
But what if you have a family member die during this week? Feeling miserable would be way too easy.
Well, just don't feel sad then. Remember the good things about them and happy or funny memories. After Christmas, then you can be a sad little person that you want to be, as there is no harm in it by then. Fix your fucking ringer collar.
They tried taking my baby! I boarded everything up, but I think I made them mad. I hear something coming. Something coming from the mountains. Listen to this. You have to help me!
Well, you either grow a pair downstairs and offer yourself up for some snoo or you end up like your kid. Apparently allowing the little stupid Uleman works. Oh well, good luck.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
There's a nudist in our neighborhood. I contacted the authorities about this pervert crisis, but they told me to call you instead. Last night, I saw my neighbor darting through the neighborhood completely in the nude. The pervert looked like he was terrified of being caught, as he's right to be. I need you to send someone over to arrest this nuisance right now.
Dude likely got mauled for his clothes, since that's apparently what Yule cats do. They can apparently kill you due to their size and speed, so if you're unlucky, it'll kill you and leave you naked. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Oh, thank God you answered. I don't know how long we have before the power goes out again, but please, you have to send somebody out here. I'm at 451 Grover Lane. The storm is bad. It's really, really bad. And my mom got caught in a storm on her walk, and now she's in pain. I didn't know who else to call. What do I do?
I was going to say another avalanche, but this is different. Let's go with whatever the hell the hunt is. It mentions storms and power outages, so there's that.
You're paying attention more than usual. Why is that a thing?
Because I don't want to sit here and do nothing. I'm a lot more sharp than you think I am. It also looks to be that we are having network errors once again. Someone go tell IT that we want Starlink internet.
It's kind of weird seeing you be more sharp, but I don't mind. The audience may be thrown off, though.
I still love my chocolate ice cream, though.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
We need help. I think we're caught in an avalanche. I don't know what to do. Everything is shaking.
Oh, see, this one's really trying to throw us off. It wants us to think that it's another avalanche, but what exactly can cause an avalanche on one? That's right, it's a mountain warlock waking up. Common knowledge, my guy.
I wouldn't have been able to guess that. Makes me wonder if those other two avalanches were caused by this guy. Seems plausible. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Hey, yeah, there's something real strange happening outside our house. The sky looks all green, and I have a bad feeling about it. A real bad feeling.
Well, you better start being cheerful and happy and not scared or sad or whatever negative. But at this point, by the sound of it, it might already be too late. Not much we can do anyway. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
There's someone trying to spy on my son Richie and I. Just the other night, while it was raging outside, some prankster with a death wish came to our door and just absolutely hammered on it and left before I could answer. This kid left some kind of weird-looking orb on our porch, so I punted it into the trash. Probably some kind of spy camera to case the joint with.
Oh no, this guy and his kid are fucked now. The saint leaves behind strange artifacts which allows the sinner to locate houses to attack. The sinner also is known for eating kids, so that's also a bad sign. Lock and load, my friend.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Some kind of insane drunk man is in our neighborhood, limping around and trying to bite people. Please send help over. The children can't go outside anymore with this lunatic lurching around and chasing the neighbors while wearing this stupid little reindeer headpiece.
Antler growths are likely the cause. They can resurrect someone and pretty much turn them into zombies with antlers growing. Best thing to do is burn the body or any other bodies in the ground.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Hello? Are the lines still open? We just spent the night in our bunker during last night's storm, and it sounds like a ghost town out there. It's dead silent, save for the sound of some wandering souls coughing their lungs out. Did the commies drop a deuce on us? Please confirm. Over and out.
Oh man, this dude's likely a war vet that has PTSD that thinks this is war shit. It's whites, but still, that's sad that they're doing this to a war vet. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
What's happened to my husband? I came home from a trip and... Oh God, it's horrible. The police won't do anything. Please, send someone. What kind of sick person would do something like this? There's so much blood and straw. So much straw.
Please hold.
His husband has mungold or something. Purchitas tend to go to homes that are not clean. His husband unfortunately got turned into a scarecrow by the Purchita. Rest in peace.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
The lights, they're so beautiful, yet I feel so empty. So empty.
This guy is likely going to be okay since he's loving the beautiful lights of the life-devouring twilight. Or he's fucked. I don't know.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
My Greta! She's gone! The police won't do anything, please! You have to help me find Greta! Last night someone broke into the house and took my baby! By the time I got to her, it was too late! I saw them jump out the window! I think they might have been an escaped prisoner or something! They were carrying chains!
Unfortunately, your kid is likely this thing's dinner and we can't do shit about it. Try your nearest sperm bank for another luck of the draw. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
I think there's something wrong with our heating system. We have all the windows open right now because we're just boiling alive. I've gone to the basement to manually turn off the heater, but somehow it keeps getting turned back on and cranked up way too high.
Dwarves, it's definitely dwarves. I suggest spreading mistletoe around to get them to leave. Sounds strange, but it works.
Who needs Todd Howard when we have you, right? Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
They're getting closer.
can't bear it! I can't bear it! I can feel it! It's coming for us! For all of us!
All these people calling for the Twilight expecting us to magically delete it. What a pain. At least our cheer is still high.
Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
Hudson here. First off, you're welcome. Me and the boys had to make quite a mess to do it, but we finally done it. Yeah, that's right. We got you, Your Majesty. The rest of them scattered to the winds as soon as we captured their not-so-mighty leader. Spread the good news around the office and maybe call the IT department, some carpenters, and a plumber as soon as you can. Pretty sure that pipe is gonna burst one way or another anyway. Happy Yuletide, season's greetings. Hudson out.
This guy literally destroyed a fucking wall in the building to get one tiny rodent. I hope our insurance covers this shit. We can just say it was one of the H groups and they'd likely believe it. Thank you for calling HSH. How may we assist you?
You have worked the miracle once again, Rebecca. Thanks to you, the Lights Watch has passed over us once again. You are truly a lifesaver. As a friendly reminder, the office Christmas party begins on the morrow, so we had best see you there. May the Yule shine upon thee and be ever merry, Rebecca.
Wait, we just beat the DLC. I mean, I know it's Christmas Day and all, but damn, that went faster than I expected it to.
I thought it was a neat addition. Nothing really different other than the Christmas theme. If the devs release another DLC expanding it further, we may play it as well, but until then, this is the start of the Christmas month for the channel.
I think the devs did a wonderful job tying in this DLC with the base game. We will be on the lookout for games or modes that are Christmas related to fill up the month with enough content for y'all to enjoy. Next month, however, is when we will be tested mentally. We'll update you on what that means later unless some of you know already.
Wait a second, Longmont Potion Castle. Isn't that the infamous prank caller nobody can pin down as to who he is? Holy shit, that's some lore right there. I know this isn't technically a Christmas map, but fuck it. It's snow, it's cold, and I just got Perkaholic first try. Easy shit, no read.
So what, do we just stop the video now because you got all the perks? I think the all-around enhancement mod we're using also gave us all the perks, so we're already super soldiers from the get-go.
This map really does give off the Christmas vibes. By that, I mean that I feel cold as hell being in this map, and December so far has been nothing but Mother Nature hating the United States and Canada. Mexico is just as tropical as ever.
People that say they like winter clearly hasn't been outside long enough to withstand the needle-sharp blizzards that occur.
Either the fourth person we have has a mic from the fucking early Xbox 360 days, or that's a president from over 100 years ago.
Sir, I don't know what you're trying to say, but if you're referring to me, as I am the fourth person to chime in, then yes, I am William H. Taft, also known as the biggest president in the United States. Although I prefer to be seen as Big Bones, personally.
Dude could have easily rocked being a mall Santa if he didn't become president.
Look, I get it. You can make all the fat jokes you want. But I was a distinguished jurist and an effective administrator.
You only look the part, Taft? From what I've read, you sucked at being a politician and was very uneasy throughout your term.
Well, that's because I preferred studying law over politics, but I was McKinley's favorite when he sent me over to the Philippines in the year 1900 and Roosevelt made me his Secretary of War up until 1907, when he thought I could be his successor. I may not have had the best knowledge for politics, but the fact that Joe Biden over here barely knew what the hell he was doing even with a sound mind makes my run seem legitimate. How do I know this? The dead talk to one another, Joseph.
Talk about a huge exposition dump with a bomb-ass diss at the end. You gonna take that, Joe? Or are you going to respond to our friend Taft here?
I zoned out after the first sentence. I never knew presidents from back then had such boring and tasteless voices.
Can we just stop with the middle school bickering for now and just focus on this map? I forget the name of it.
It's called Frigid, and it has an Easter egg, but I'm sure it's not difficult. I didn't read it, so I'm not sure, but it feels like this will be a Black Ops 1 kind of map.
So, what you're saying is that we don't know what we're supposed to do, and we're just going to try and wing it?
Where the hell did the American education system go for this to be a proposition? Granted, I may not follow every step to what you call an Easter egg quest, but what the hell are we supposed to do when we don't know what to do for a step?
Just gotta fucking wing it, bruv.
That is basically it, Mr. Taft. Unless Donald took a picture of the guy to reference, which I doubt he did, we are treating this as a round 20 game, meaning we play till round 20 and quit out. Unless we figure out the Easter egg steps.
The only Easter eggs I care about are the ones that come on Easter that have chocolates in them. Kinder Surprises are banned so Joe isn't as excited to get eggs as he used to be.
I still am hoping one of them I find randomly still has the toys within them outside of the police's eyesight. Isn't there a black market for them here? I'd fully support it.
You'd like to pardon that too, right? A pardon for you, pardons for everyone. Fuck what you've done. All is forgiven under the Biden administration.
You're seriously giving out pardons like they're candy, Joseph? We use them to sucker criminals into incarceration, not to actually pardon them for anything. Didn't you learn from the Pirates of the Caribbean films? Never trust the government.
Pot calling the kettle black, I see.
You with the 9th Cavalry or something. Could have sworn I've seen someone like you when they got expelled from San Antonio, who were also expelled from Rio Grande City, and then expelled again in San Antonio when the residents weren't happy until I ultimately placed them in Fort Russell, Wyoming. You're lucky I didn't allow the Army Organization Act of 1866, mister.
Well, I guess I can take that as a backhanded thank you, since that act would have abolished black people from serving in any unit. Also glad to know that we're dealing with fucking Nova crawlers, including the stupid glowing ones.
Whoever thought giving Nova crawlers an extra thing to make them more annoying should be shot in the face with a cat piss-filled super soaker in minus 20-degree weather.
Coincidentally enough, that's what these stupid things look like on the map. I'm just hoping there aren't any electric variants like on Alpha Omega on Black Ops 4.
If I see one, I'm out F4ing.
Now that we've established that we're just flying by the seat of our pants throughout this whole thing, does anybody know how to upgrade our weapons here? I was told every zombies map apart from a select few have a machine called Pack-a-Punch. Where might that be located in this one? Young fellas and that one old dinosaur.
I don't think there are any dinosaurs here, Taft. Did you smoke something that makes you see pink elephants as well?
He means you fucking idiot. And to answer your question, no, I don't know where the machine is, and if I find it, I'll let you know. I'm usually the only one that paps, though since we're done by round 20 and Black Ops 3 is super easy with or without pap.
It's easy if you don't do Easter eggs, that is. Some of them require math to do, like in Gorod Krovi, and I am not a math person.
I don't know what just happened. Some explosions happened, and I am now on the floor.
It happens to the best of us, Taft. No big deal. Although every game we play, we always expect Joe to be crying out for help.
Fuck you, man. I'm better than that now. You can clearly see progress.
I was about to call you on your bullshit, but Taft's username changed colors for whatever reason to yellow. Taft, buddy, you gotta get your shit together.
I talk more than I glock, Donald. I may have been a Secretary of War, but that doesn't mean I have to fend off zombies and ill-made radiated creatures.
That feeling when you can go rat-a-tat-a without fucking up the flow is so delightful for any first-person gamer who dual-wields pistols. I found a button, guys. I just pressed it, it turned green. The hell does it even mean?
That you're not a fan of green eggs and him says Sam I am.
I'm gonna be so glad to be fully transitioned and to see you leave. I will fucking fart so many times in that main Oval Office chair that it'll remind every future president that was my seat, my office, my country. I hate when you do shit like that to me.
Could have gone without the long tangent to reply to Joe's stupid remark, but to answer your question about the buttons, they likely do something for the teleporter at the beginning. Just a hunch.
Then find more of those buttons so we can get the teleporter active. It could have something for the quest as well, given as we need a sample of something called 115. What's the significance of it? Sure, it's moscovium and it's extremely radioactive. But what's the purpose of it here? It doesn't reanimate the dead or anything like that.
Because I guess it sounded cool in their heads. I don't know. They saw the word radioactive and likely went with that for science fiction. Fuck it, I'm using crate power to get upgraded Browning pistols. Time to go rat-a-tat-a once again.
I think the main theme of this map is the cold and a door opening festival because there are a lot of fucking doors to open. It's just insanity. I'm not a fan of door opening festival type maps other than to discover new things around maps.
So you hate opening doors a lot, but like discovering new areas. Kinda weird juxtaposition, Obama.
I know, it's just that you're wasting points on something that can make the purchase worth it or not. So far it's been rather mid in the same ish.
I'm also noticing that using the Force 60 FPS option in the mod can make a lot of textures and assets wonky. Majorly bad pop-ups I've been seeing. Might take that off for future sessions.
Those green glowing little shits always get me when I'm trying to get zombies off of me. I hate them so much.
You see that thing in your hands with a trigger and a full clip in it? Yeah. Fucking use it then! I keep hearing that stupidly loud beeping noise. What the fuck even is that?
Oh yeah, I have the Black Ops 1 crossbow.
Please explain to me why you have that thing. It's useless as is, and its only purpose when upgraded is to use it for a monkey bomb replacement.
I wish I could give you a proper explanation, but my only real reason is to clear hordes in one shot during insta-kills. There isn't one right now, but goddammit, I am ready for the next one.
There's a viable upgraded winner's howl here. So please, for the love of God, get that instead and ditch the stupid crossbow. I thought I told you to ditch the crossbow, Obama? Why am I still hearing it?
Because I don't fucking have it anymore, done. It's tapped that as a crossbow now.
That might be why he keeps going down.
But he has PhD flopper, so he shouldn't be blowing himself up that easily.
This thing is like a musket when reloading and firing. Gets me pinned sometimes.
I would say switch it out, but since you're here only for today, I'll just treat it as a one-off and try to ignore it while my fucking ears bleed. Screw it, I'm gonna use the teleporter and see what's up.
Keep a lookout for anything that might be important. It wouldn't send you to another location without putting something unique to find there.
Well, we got a rewards box for certain things completed like in Origins, and we got the Pack-a-Punch machine here. Don't see anything really unique yet. Oh, wait, hold on. Just picked up a rock here. Might be the sample we need in the room with the projector.
We may be too far into the game to just now find it for the quest, but it's never too late. Now we can place that thing into where it's supposed to go, and I don't know after that.
Honestly, this video will likely just be a showcase of the map, and even if we don't complete it, someone watching might be able to on their own.
We still gotta find more Christmas stuff to fill up the month. We can't just always cheat and use snow-covered zombies maps, though, can we? I know we have something big planned for Christmas itself, but I don't know.
And just like we mentioned before, we are not doing Dead Rising 4 again just because it's December.
We'll figure it out. I think we still got a couple weeks left before Christmas, so we only need to think of a few more ideas for videos before the big one. Oh God, that's a Panzer. Shoot it down. 2 Panzers. Did I blank out the first one that spawned rounds earlier or something? I mean, they went down easy, but still, those guys are walking hard attacks. All right, I've placed the sample into the container, and now I am once again lost as to what to fucking do now. We're already approaching round 20, and I fear we won't be able to figure it out before then.
A little effort is better than putting in zero effort, I guess. I appreciate being here regardless, if only for today. Maybe I'll return if there's some fanfare my way, but for now, I am glad to spend time with living presidents for once, and not the same dead ones I see all the time. Card games with the dead get boring after a while since we all died before the digital age. Nixon plays on his NES and Game Boy sometimes.
Some passed during the digital age, though, at least during the time when the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube were out. Reagan died in 2004, so not everyone is forced to play card games, I think.
I guess it is hard to imagine what stuff would be available during that time period if you've never come close to even seeing it. Still, I can guarantee that when Jimmy Carter eventually joins our fray, it's going to be an event on both fronts.
When George's father passed away, I legit thought the news was for George Bush himself and not his father. Why did he have to name our George almost the same name? It's probably for legacy reasons, but that's long gone now.
Well, it's about to be round 20. Couldn't figure out what to do post-sample step, and that's about all we've allocated for. If the people watching want to play this map and finish the egg yourselves, the map's name is called Frigid. See you on the next one, folks. Welcome to this thing. It's still technically a Christmas-themed episode because there's snow and it's fucking cold, and well, it's Siberia, so this is what it looks like pretty much almost all year round.
I say it counts. We just got told that Arkham Origins takes place during Christmas, so maybe we'll give it a go. But we despise the stupid Warner Brothers launcher if it uses it.
Can we enforce a ban on going outside if it's cold enough to freeze your saliva solid? I hate when I have too much and have to spit out saliva, and it immediately turns to ice. Fucking bullshit, man.
Now that Joe has finished his long-ass spiel over spitting instead of swallowing, let's become trained conductors in 1980s Siberia.
Пассажиры и железнодорожники. Частный перевозчик товарищ Миша принят обратно на грузовую линию. Желаем вам приятного и безопасного путешествия.
Well, this seems fairly accurate already. With everyone in the Soviet Union looking alike, might as well name everybody Boris.
I bet that offended somebody, but we'll find that out later when we read the comments.
Пора вернуться на железнодорожные рельсы и доказать, что ты лучший в своем деле. Выполняя свои обязанности на железной дороге, ты одновременно будешь работать на сибирскую братву. Ты знаешь, что это непросто, но я обещаю, что тебе будут щедро платить за каждое выполненное задание. Вспомни, сколько времени у нас ушло на то, чтобы убедить директора заново оформить третьего-лицензию. Он сказал, что у него много заказов на перевозку по маршруту до Красноярска, и его нельзя подвести, иначе снова попадешь в ГУЛАГ. Прежде чем приступить к работе, вспомни, как управлять локомотивом.
Could have been in an email, buddy. Could have been in an email.
If emails even existed back then. The USSR wasn't really technologically advanced outside of doing dick measuring contests with warheads.
Which, by the way, half of them likely don't work anymore and nobody wants to even touch 50 to 60-year-old waning junk. So if we get too lax and not pay attention to those bars, one could fill up and kill us. I love playing games that make you live on a timer.
Sounds like every game with survival mechanics, though.
You know Don's chick where nothing's ever too good for him to consider being perfect.
I used to consider McDonald's perfect until some bitch employee ratted on our newest folk hero. You want to give Mario a call to grant his brother a Christmas miracle?
I'm not trusting this game since it's taking place during the USSR, especially in the frigid tundra.
Well, a Russian's best friend is a vodka bottle. For both forgetting your sorrows and the fact that Russia was a hellhole to live in during this time, and it keeps you warmish.
I know this is going to sound super stereotypical of me, but where are the Russian guns? Not even shoddily made pistols. Some half-beaten AK-47s? Nothing? Okay then.
Well, apparently there's a mafia we have to obey in this game, so maybe we'll come across some of that stuff later. Considering this will likely only be one episode until whenever we decide to play this again, might not actually be using them unless people want to see this again.
Trains, guns, mafia, USSR, who wouldn't want to see such? I guess things as a set piece.
Would have been cool if we got Vladimir Putin to make an appearance, but he's in bed with Assad, either clapping cheeks or getting his ass pegged by his boy toys regime.
Dude, the guy's name is Assad, you know? Ass, odd, he's definitely the bottom.
Putin has so many people in his bedroom, from Kim Jong-un to Xi Jinping to Khamenei. He's the world's biggest playboy.
Well, we've arrived to our home for the game, basically. I agreed to do the tutorial since I do not trust myself or either of you to know how to run these fucking things. It's not just push a lever and go forward and back. Well, I remember everything post-tutorial. Fucking that'll be a fucking sight to see. Meaning no, I likely will not and might pay the price. If we survive the first trip, I'll be happy.
If we don't damage anything on our first run, I'll be impressed.
As much as it would be slightly interesting to show the tutorial and the 9,000 fucking buttons we have to memorize and hope to God the game reminds us. We might just have the editor fast forward this bit to keep the viewer's attention span going. We're appealing to those that have to watch Subway Surfer videos to keep their eyes on the screen. We're not talking about millennials and previous generations, just some of Gen Z and almost all of Gen Alpha. Fucking close your mouth when you cough and when you use your brand new iPad your mommy and daddy paid for. Sorry, got caught up in my old man yells at Cloudways. Moving on.
Holy fuck, and I thought I was the rambler in the group. Mans just went on and insulted an entire generation of viewers. I mean, he's kind of right, though, about the fucking coughing Gen Alpha does. Close your damn mouth, you nasties.
And with all that knowledge, that likely will be forgotten the next time we play this, we are officially moving. The amount of switches and buttons it taught me to use that I guarantee I will not be using until the game reminds me, if it does, is already kind of overwhelming. I'm barely getting used to braking properly, and I can't even use the brake handle yet. Gotta fuck with the other ways to brake the train. Confusing, ain't it?
Just take a guess once in a while and hope that you've made correct guesses.
Yeah, as much as winging it or sending it sounds like they're good ideas. They're also making us closer to derailing or hitting something, or just flat out going head on towards a passenger train.
I bet there's an achievement for it, though. Fucking smoke one and see if I'm right.
No, Joe, we're not fucking hitting a train on purpose to see if there's an achievement for vehicular manslaughter in the middle of the Soviet Union. Got a goddamn murder advocate here today.
Well, we gotta bring up excitement somehow, right? We did something similar when we did the Backrooms Pools video where we just told stories from Reddit and that kept viewers engaged. If these trips take a while, which I'm assuming they will, or we can consider doing it again?
Well, the pictures show that we will see some of that action movie stuff at some point, but considering this will be the first trip of many, I can see Reddit stories returning to fill up time.
Well, I'll be the one controlling this damn thing so I don't fuck it up, so if we do read off stories, it'll be you two. It may be a boring trip, but goddammit, I won't let it end in tragedy already. Alrighty, just gotta slow this baby down to a halt and back up to our load. I'm phrasing my shit specifically so we don't trigger Zarbon.
Dude makes the Grinch look like he's a legitimate businessman.
Wait a fucking minute. You're forcing me to go outside in the bone-chilling cold to flip a fucking switch manually. How far back was Russia during this time? That should not be my duty to flip the stupid thing.
You probably could have moved the train closer to the switch, but you're already gunning for it, so I'm just gonna keep my damn mouth shut, I guess.
Did you just fucking kill someone, Donald? Oh, but ramming a train head-on towards another one is too much for you? Do as I say, not as I fucking do, I guess.
Hold your fucking tongue there, Joe. I was only morbidly curious if I was able to kill non-hostile people. Just like seeing if a game is fall damage, you just never know, dude. I also wanted to see if there were achievements for killing people, friend or foe, so yeah. Oh, fuck you, game. Fuck you. Making me run back to the train I had to stop, but you told me to stop, fucking hell, man.
You learned the error of your ways, young grasshopper.
We haven't even begun the journey yet, and this is still fascinating to see how Don handles simulator games. The ones that work and don't suck or lag to shit.
Well, if you haven't noticed, I can't tell what the little thing looked like for me to even see if I could even get close without going past it. Because everything I ice covered in fucking snow. If you haven't caught the fuck one yet.
Donald going full Sopranos, there is something we don't see much of.
And now we get to witness how fast Don can hook up train cars so we can be on our way for once. This is supposed to be hype, but I can't exactly hype up connecting cars together.
It's as hype as Don wants it to be. Although from the looks of this, he's going to be super duper extra cautious to not damage shit. Anti-ramrod stuff is boring, man.
I don't see either of you playing this game, so shut up and sit down.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
That took so long for you to do. I'm sure it would have been fine had you went faster than a fucking grandma, man. Hell, my grandma could come back to life and run around this entire hangar and bury herself before you hooked up.
I'm not that impatient, all right? Yeah, I want to get a move on as well, but I want to be sure I firmly grasp it before I am ready to go. You wouldn't understand.
Resorting to SpongeBob one-liners to make your point. What a chode.
Well, now that we've finally made the connection, I can release the brakes, or at least put them into the service position, and we should be on our way to whatever the next place is. I know it's Russian shit, but it's all gobbledygook to me. Not as bad as visiting China, Japan, or either Korean nations, though. I could go on, but we're veering into sensitive, possibly racial shit, so I'm just gonna be a good little Boy Scout and get this train a-moving. Not sure why we're not moving, but hey, we can start those Reddit stories at least. We're using PlayHT for this, so we don't need to break off segments per 5,000 words cough. 11 labs, cough, cough.
I mean, we might vary in quality depending on how long they are, so that's something to keep in mind. We're going to choose Christmas-related Reddit stories that could be sad, happy, funny, depressing, whatever it is. We're gonna read them for y'all for this long-ass trip.
Hold on, I don't got my reading glasses with me. Pad out the video for me in the meantime.
We're likely not going to make the schedule since we had Friday the 13th last week, so fuck it, take your time, both of you. I just hope that whatever you pick won't put our people to sleep or get us struck down.
Well, I guess I can start. This story is by Vanessa, L3000. When I was about 12, my parents got into a fight at one of those Christmas tree lots, and so it was decided that there would be no Christmas tree in our house that year. Then Christmas Eve rolls around and my dad, clearly upset that there is no tree, leaves the house around 2 p.m. We all know he is headed to the bar. No big deal. Except it starts to get late. We make ham and all the trimmings. Wait until about 9 p.m., then eat. At 10 p.m., no dad. 11 p.m., no dad. My mom calls the bar to check on when he is coming home. They say he left hours ago. Seriously starting to worry that something horrible happened to my dad on Christmas. My mom decides to go look for him, while my brother, sister, and I try and get some sleep. Around midnight, we hear the garage door open, then horrible crunching sound. My brother, who at the time is around 6, starts yelling Santa and runs around the house. Not Santa, just Dad. Dad drags a sad-looking tree into the house. It's dropping pine needles everywhere. Branches broken all over it. Tries to set it up in our living room using a stand, but the base is too long. He goes to the garage and gets the rustiest-looking handsaw I've ever seen. Tries to cut the base, proceeds to almost sever 2 of his fingers. He is rushed to emergency room by my mom where they are able to reattach his fingers. Wake up Christmas morning to an almost naked tree propped against the wall and blood everywhere. Oh, and that horrible crunch I mentioned? He drove his car into the garage while the tree was strapped to the top. breaking the garage door.
Jesus fucking Christ, that man sounds to be either insane, stupid, or some mixture of the two.
To be fair, it does sound like it's a Christmas with the cranks kind of scenario.
Okay, I think I got a story now. This one is by Defrost Mode. I was just finishing having 2 weeks off from work to take care of all the kids' Christmas programs and so on while my wife took a trip to Hawaii. Do pictures at a wedding and visit her sister. She got back on the 23rd. We do all the family get-togethers and so on. Christmas Eve 2011. We get home from her brother's and she needs to go to work. I try to stay awake until she gets home. I end up falling asleep with a migraine. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. Christmas morning. Still clothed, on top of the blankets face down. I go use the restroom and assume she is asleep out in the living room because there were still some Christmas boxes sitting on her side of the bed. I move the boxes and go out to the living room to tell her she can come lay in the bed. She is nowhere to be found. I call her mom thinking they might still be working. Her mom tells me they were done at 11:30 p.m. I tell her she never made it home. We both go walking around town looking for her and the 8-degree Fahrenheit weather felt like negative 18 Fahrenheit with the wind chill. I get a call from her mom that she is on her way home and meet her there. Something seems off, but I ignore it because I don't want it to be true. She was with a friend that I didn't know she was friends with and lost track of time. Later in the day, I finally can't let it eat at me anymore and I ask the question, do you have feelings for XXXXXXE? What? What? I obviously heard her just fine. I was just blown away. I couldn't believe it. She repeats, I love him. I'm in love with him. TLD, our wife cheated on me and decided to tell me Christmas Day.
I bet that you would have given her clemency along with the 1,500 you're doing it for if she was guilty of something.
I don't know about this one, Donnie. If you're gonna cheat, don't do it on a damn holiday full of happiness and cheer. It's not cool.
Well, that's a story from both of you and we've barely gotten anywhere, but I don't really have another solution.
I got another one. By the name of Stacy MS, my brother-in-law was fond of dating the worst women, and at the time he was dating this scam artist. Her MO was to tell people she was a former model and take their money for a portfolio and learning how to walk and such to break them into the business. We flew in a few days before Christmas and are poking around the local mall and brother-in-law disappears into a K jewelry my husband runs after him. We try to talk him out of proposing and we fail. On Christmas Day, he's writing a poem in the living room, writing a poem to his future fiancée. My father-in-law catches what is happening and sets down his wine glass and pours 1/4 of a gallon jug of wine into a Nalgene bottle and starts swigging. He decides it's not going to be enough to survive the day and breaks into a bottle of vodka and does at least 10 shots of vodka. As I stare at him in awe. We exchange presents, the scam artist finds her box, brother-in-law falls to one knee and proposes. She accepts. Father-in-law is trying to be nice and he invites us all to stand in a circle and say something nice to the lovebirds. We all say some sweet bullshit about them having a long and happy life together. Father-in-law is getting progressively drunk as each relative around the circle speaks, each shot hitting him like a bullet. Finally, his turn to speak and he announces, I hope Tracy doesn't fuck this one up, and then swallowed the remains of the Nalgene bottle. We all stood there in awe. The only time I felt more embarrassed for someone else on Christmas was when my mom was apologizing to the neighbor after my autistic sister stole their pot roast.
Why is it almost always goddamn in-laws? It's like they have a hidden implant inserted into their brains that activates when around others.
And you wonder why so many movies tend to mock or make in-laws insignificant or look stupid.
Ah shit, gotta lower the pantographs. I'm glad that the buttons are labeled when I hover over them or I'd never fucking know what they were. Anyway, it's Joe's turn now. Don't mind me as I do train conductor shit.
This one is by Bo Nanners, and don't be eating anything while listening to this story. It's both funny and kind of disgusting. Listener discretion is advised. It wasn't funny at the time, but now it's hilarious and will forever be known as the Christmas surprise. So let me set the stage real quick. My family always goes to Christmas Eve Mass. Then we come home and we exchange our Secret Santa gifts between siblings. It's tradition at this point. There were a lot of us, my 2 sisters, my brother, my parents, my grandparents, and my sister's fiancé, so we were in multiple cars. Mass had ended, and I left with my oldest sister and her fiancé go back home. The others were several minutes behind us. Another important thing, we had 2 small dogs, a Chihuahua and a Chihuahua Terrier mix that we put in small cages when we leave the house. So my sister, her fiancé, and I get back home, and as soon as we walk in the door, we were just bombarded with the smell of hot diarrhea. It was so pungent that my eyes were watering. Definitely in my top 10 worst things I've ever smelled. I have no idea how long that diarrhea was just sitting there, but it was long enough that the entire house smelled like shit. It felt like we were choking on it, and I could practically taste it. So my sister, her fiancé, and I are just yelling and freaking out at the smell. The house alarm is going off, and the dogs are barking to be let out of their cages like they always do when they know we've just gotten home. So I go over to their cages, and obviously the smell is getting so much worse the closer I get to the source. I let the Chihuahua Terrier mix out of his cage first, because he was completely clean. The Chihuahua, on the other hand, well, he didn't just poop in his cage. He had a full-blown diarrhea shit explosion. His doggy bed was soaked with shit. It had leaked out onto the hardwood floors. It had exploded out onto the walls. This small white Chihuahua had practically rolled in it. He's sopping wet and all his fur is stained brown. So he's sitting there barking at me and wiggling like crazy, flinging shit everywhere because he wants to be let out of his cage. And I'm just sitting there in my dress and heels trying not to throw up and trying to figure out how I can let him out of his cage without letting him drag liquid shit all over the house and furniture. My sister finally goes to the back door, starts yelling potty, gotta go potty since that's our dog's cues to go outside. Luckily the little poo mop went straight out the door so he didn't drag shit all over the place.
Слушай внимательно. Настало время выполнить твое первое задание. Нашему положению угрожают враждебные группировки. Мы должны показать им, что ради защиты наших интересов мы пойдем на все и прибегнем к самым решительным мерам. Ближайший железнодорожный мост – ключевой пункт для логистики дзефринской группировки. Через него идет контрабанда оружия, наркотиков, денег. Все идет через этот пункт. Если мы его разрушим, это нанесет им сильнейший удар. Мы парализуем их действия и лишим возможности влиять на ситуацию. Я верю, что ты делаешь все необходимое, чтобы достичь наших целей. Жди дальнейших указаний.
Sorry for cutting you off, Joe. I wanted to hear what the guy had to say. And it looks like we got a bridge to destroy. Not that I care, but I'd rather not be on the Mafia's bad side for now. Continue with the diarrhea exploding Chihuahua.
There were just a few drops in a straight trail to the back door, so it could have been much worse. But the cage, the floor, and the wall are still a fucking mess. If you've ever seen the scene from Bad Grandpa, where he sharts on the wall, then you can picture exactly what kind of mess I'm staring at. Except this one wasn't a prank, it was actual shit. All over the walls. And I'm the one who has to clean it all up. I'm the one who loves animals so much that I want to work at a vet. So naturally I get stuck with all the gross pet jobs as practice. Also because I'm the only one besides my mom who doesn't freak out and vomit when up close and personal with doggy shit or other nasty stuff. I was also the one who had to pluck out butt worms that had dried to the Chihuahua's booty fur. But that was a different horror story anyway. The first thing I did was just toss the entire dog bed. It was soaked, and not even worth trying to save. I also threw his food bowl and his water dish into an empty grocery bag to clean later, because of course those were covered in shit too. Then I had to use an entire paper towel roll to sop up the hardwood floor and the cage floor. Don't forget I'm doing all this with my bare fucking hands since I couldn't find any rubber gloves. I had to drag the cage away from the wall so I could get close enough to clean it. But in my haste to get everything cleaned up, I forgot that the liquid shit could spread underneath the cage. So of course I just spread this shit even farther along the floor. I'm not really sure how I would have been able to avoid doing that, but whatever. So my sister's fiance quickly carries the cage outside so it can be hosed off later. And that makes more shit drop onto the floor between the cages and the back door. I'm still focused on cleaning up the fucking epicenter of this disaster, so my sister cleaned up the floor trail where it had dripped. I finally got the shit on the wood floor completely wiped up and disinfected with Clorox wipes, so I could get closer to the wall without putting my heels or, God forbid, my bare feet into diarrhea. Then I started wiping it off the walls. Surprisingly, it didn't stain or tint the white paint brown. So at least there's that. Now, at this point, I've been cleaning up shit for a solid 10 to 15 minutes. By the time I'm just finishing up cleaning and disinfecting the wall, the rest of our family finally got home. Of course, when they walked in the door, they also started freaking out about the shit smell permeating the air. It hadn't cleared up at all in the time I've been cleaning. If anything, the smell got worse because I was moving and spreading it around. So they're all asking WTF happened, and in the meantime, the poor dogs are still outside barking because they want to be let in. We couldn't exactly let them in earlier, since one of them is still soaked in diarrhea. Luckily, I didn't have to be the one who bathed the poop dog, since everyone agreed that I'd done much more than my fair share of cleaning up the mess. My mom had to go outside and pick him up with an old bath towel and carry him straight to the tub. Then I spent like 5 minutes furiously scrubbing my hands with soap because again I cleaned it all up with my bare hands and it got all over me. But I was also lucky that none of it got onto my dress or my heels. So, yeah, that's the story of the infamous 2015 Christmas surprise. Hope it made somebody laugh because I certainly wasn't laughing at the time. It's a little funny now, but honestly it's still a nightmare when I think about it.
Fucking Chihuahuas, man. Who the hell decides they want a damn rat that shakes and shits themselves instead of an actual dog? Nah, I'm never going to get a dog that's the size of my foot that can explode with shit like that and act all innocent. I can handle toxic dog farts, not explosive diarrhea from a run.
The smell of Christmas is in the air, boys, or one of you just shit themselves either way. Hey guys, why is the light red on my dash? I remember it being because of another train being detected on the tracks, but I don't see anything, do you?
No, but I don't want to be here when it comes. I'd say back the fuck up as far as you can to avoid a collision.
Oh, hell nah. This is some Final Destination bullshit. Back this hunk of junk up before all three of us appear in a sequel.
What the hell do you think I'm trying to do here? I can't reverse on a dime, Joe.
Then reverse on a quarter or $1 or something worth more than a dime. I don't want to die.
Yep, just saw the train coming from the other side of the bridge. I know it's not going to stop for us.
Alrighty, we're finally moving back at a decent pace. As long as he doesn't speed up, we'll be fine.
Once we're across the bridge and out of danger, we can continue storytelling.
I don't think you got a better story than the Chihuahua IED story I told.
I don't know about that, Joe. Reddit's a giant place, so finding another good story like that wouldn't take much searching.
I ain't moving much faster than this, buddy. Blare your stupid horn as much as you want. I don't care. You're lucky I wasn't issued a state pistol for self-defense, or else I'd cap your ass mid-motion. Fucking hell, that was something? Anyway, find another story for us to indulge in.
This one is by at 1:32 p.m. Don't know if this will be funny to anyone else, but I'm still laughing now remembering the mess of the first Christmas I can really remember. I love reading from a very early age, and my family loved that and we're happy to spread it around. So Christmas when I'm 4 years old. Start opening my presents and I start finding books. I love it at first. I got books from my parents, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles. Everyone knew I loved books. The present opening continues, and my cousins are getting toy after toy. I'm getting ... more books. I'm starting to get a little down about this point, and I learned later the family started getting worried and comparing notes and realizing that not a single person got me a toy. Yeah, I love books ... but I was a 4-year-old. I like to play too. Eventually my aunts and uncles start making my cousins give me some of their toys to play with and said Santa made a mistake, which just pissed off everyone around my age and none of us believed it. So I went outside in the front yard to play and pout away from all the toys and books. After a little bit, the next door neighbor walks up saying Merry Christmas and has a bunch of presents for the kids. Hands me one, I tear it open. So excited to finally get a toy. And it's another book. My little brain broke about then, and I just remember sitting straight down in a puddle and crying. Neighbor was distraught about what he'd done wrong, and my mom had to explain it to him. The last thing is the part that mostly cracks me and everyone else up. That poor neighbor didn't know he was my last hope for a toy of my own that day, and my little preschool misery ended up taking him out as well. We all have kind of sick sense of humor. In the end, I learned early on that too much of a good thing is bad, and my family learned to compare notes a bit better on what they were getting each other for Christmas.
I mean, that story was just heartbreaking. Kind of funny, but also heartbreaking. I hate seeing kids cry, man.
Well, it looks like we'll be meeting Nikita at the other end of the bridge. Until then, Joe, read us a story in the meantime while you still got the ability to read.
All right. This one is by 19494. I want to preface this with that I do not condone the actions of my family. It was nice having an alcoholic for a dad at times. He wasn't an angry drunk, so it was okay, at least in my preteen mind. The Tooth Fairy would accidentally slip you a 20. The Easter Bunny would put half-eaten boxes of M&Ms into your basket. Eaten the night prior, shit was tight. But if your dad was an alcoholic, Santa was the best. Cut to December 24th, 1999, I was 11 going on to 12. I remember this night, hearing my dad wake up at 3 a.m. and stumbling to put up my Christmas gifts, not before vomiting into the toilet the debauchery of the evening before. Him breaking a few ornaments, then pouring out the milk and enjoying the beer he had chilled for himself alongside the cookies. This was a nightly routine with this man. I'm not sure if this lands under permanent childhood trauma or found memories of the good old days, but it defiantly affected me in some unending way. But anyways, I went back to bed and woke up the next morning, and like any child, I was up by 3 a.m. waiting for it to happen. I waited the 4 hours that felt like eons back then, just to wake him up. And there was the first mistake of the day. I saw him starfishing in bed with his robe on and with his cock in plain view. That fell easily into the childhood trauma camp. After he finally unflashed and got up, we got to the presents, a PS1 and then some games, and then came the stocking. This stocking was special. Alongside with same handful of uncracked nuts that he puts in there was a can. He spoke up and said, "Well, my 12th Christmas is when I had my first beer, so it's only fitting for it to be yours." So then I took out of my stocking a can or Corona Special, his favorite, along with a lime. And me having the tolerance of a prepubescent gay kid, I was falling over myself on this. This put me off of alcohol for many years, so thanks, I guess, Dad. Then I got drove to my mom's house, where I did my Christmas Day drive with Grandpa to his house. These drives really built my character. He taught me how to be useful and resourceful, how to be respectful to earth and unto others, and how to find reasons to keep going in day-to-day life. My grandfather was a Vietnam vet. And the real type of Vietnam vet, not the dude who got kicked out of basic and talks about how strong and brave he was, but the dude who was a tunnel rat and has so permanently traumatized that he won't bring up anything besides, yeah, I went there. And so after the life-changing conversation in the car, we got out to his little beach house out on Ontario, where he would normally go fishing with me, but the lake was too frozen. So he brought me inside and talked about how everyone needs a gun. And so he opened up his safe and told me to pick one. This was and still is my favorite gift I have gotten. I picked out a nicer .357 Magnum Henry lever action. My dad was a mess, an awful person and better off dead. I still love the man, but he was not meant for this earth. My grandfather is in stark contrast to him. He made me a man. With every visit to this day, he matures me. TLDR, my 12th Christmas gifts were a beer, a gun, and Crash Bandicoot. And I'm a better person for it.
Fuck, my father would just abuse me and forget I even existed, but I turned out great, at least I think so. Anyways, let's go see what Mr. Nikita has for us. I bet it'll be a blast.
Ради этого момента я трудился часы, дни и недели напролет. Как пиротехник, я творю волшебство в воздухе. Разноцветные вспышки и узоры — это словно мои кисти, рисующие восхитительные картины в небе.
I followed none of that. Mind giving me your package?
Я ухожу отсюда. Я всегда должен действовать профессионально и заботиться о безопасности.
Заложи взрывчатку на мосту. Только смотри, не взорви при этом свой поезд. У тебя на это 15 минут.
You weren't kidding about this being a blast, Don. The train's not going to be affected by the explosion, I don't think.
Run for it, before it kills us all.
We're fine, Joe. I just need to get off the bridge and watch the fireworks go off. Holy shit, that's a massive explosion for such a small charge. Jesus fucking Christ, never mess with the Russian mafia.
I bet if they wanted to, they could oust Putin whenever they could. If Wagner could reach Moscow fairly easily, they could as well.
Yes, let's just appoint a crime syndicate to run a country. It didn't work well for Al Capone in Chicago, and it wouldn't work much better on a countrywide scale.
Передай его Борису. Это ученик Никиты. Он ждет тебя в здании вокзала Новосибирск главный. На это у тебя 1 час 15 минут.
Another timer on top of a timer. I get this is a game full of trains and getting to destinations on time, but I'm starting to get annoyed with additional timers.
Can someone silence that stupid-ass tea kettle? It's goddamn annoying.
I think that's supposed to be the red button he has to push every 10 minutes, so he doesn't bore himself to sleep. Train life is draining, man.
That sounds correct, Obama. We're a little over halfway to the station, so it's up to you two if you want to continue storytelling or we just cut to the station where I detach the trailers.
Before long, we're going to transition into an AI reading channel if we do this every so often.
I'm perfectly fine with cutting ahead to the end. I mean, not to sound like we don't want to read more stories today, but we've already missed the scheduled upload time from last week. We got to put stuff out to fill the month up.
Well, this is a democratic country outside of the game, so majority rules. Well, I'm in the marked area, but is it going to turn a different color to tell me when to stop? Or do I just stop if I'm within the red rectangle? Some direction would be fucking nice.
If it were me, I'd just park it within the rectangle so the game shouldn't, in theory, yell at you. Can't get mad for info it hasn't provided you, Donnie.
Sounds good to me. See, yeah, when we're parked, I'm calling this good enough. No indicator telling me I'm in the right spot or not. Or I guess the game won't tell me until I'm out of the fucking front cabin for it to tell me to detach the cars with the damn coupler lever. Wonderful fucking stupid shit.
You got to be psychic with these games with overcomplicated controls and mechanics. Running a train is hard, but it shouldn't be this intensive already.
No, I'm not running back into the front cab to hit the stupid attention button again. I got a package to deliver to Boris, and that's that.
Seems pretty quiet for a train station, don't you think? It's not Moscow, sure, but you'd at least hear some chatter and people walking around, no?
Интересно, что же в этих чертежах? Дайте мне пакет.
Dude, I don't give a shit. Take the package from me so I can quit.
Я очень люблю изучать новое и пополнять свои знания. Я уверен, что эти материалы помогут мне улучшить результаты.
Hey, fuck this shit. I'm jerking off.
Jesus Christ, 29 hours of content. That's excluding the copyright claim stuff and covers we've done. Are we acoustic?
Probably, although there is one video series we never started because we were running into a bit of burnout. There is an unreleased video of ours that would have kickstarted another series, and you'll be able to view it in a little bit.
Even if we split this video into 2 parts to appease the YouTube lords, we hope that you've enjoyed an entire year's worth of content crammed into one long movie or movies. We now present to you the unreleased video of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness Randomizer.
Welcome to Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness Randomized. This is totally not the 8th or 9th time trying to record this fucking game without it crashing, freezing, or overall just not fucking working or anything.
One time his first shadow was a big blue bird with frost coming from its wings. Needless to say, that didn't make him very happy when it froze and fucked up his game and had to try again.
Just a heads up to the folks at home, there might be a number of times where the game audio cuts out for a few seconds, but that's due to our audio interface being a cuck when it comes to consistent audio going to our headphones.
I watched this intro so many times that I have it ingrained in my memory.
Place your bets as to what Shadow Lugia turns into once we get to the final battle.
I will use the same rules like how I did Grand Coliseum with a couple additions because I can snag any Pokemon I want from trainers. If a Shadow Pokemon is the same as a Pokemon I already got, I will use a Master Ball on it, as it is considered redundant. I will also use them on Capturing Unknowns since I want to spell my name with them if I can find the necessary letter.
I mean, that sounds fair, I guess.
And the randomizer is working fine since I got a Celebi and they got an Alakazam.
And no, we won't play post-game stuff like opening this Coliseum to fight the admins again. Not even a good reward, if I recall.
I'm so tempted to tell the editor to hurry this up to where I catch my first shadow since I am so sick of going through this intro.
But what about me? I haven't played this game.
The intro is really sluggish and not really interesting, especially not if you've seen it so many times like Donald has.
I swear to fucking God, if my starter is a Phoebus, I will just not play this game ever again.
That would be too cruel.
Moment of truth.
Makuhita and a Meowth. Not bad. Far better than a stupid fish, though. I've seen Crane so many times that I just hate seeing his face now. Just get kidnapped like you have been the last few times and let me play the game. God damn it.
I can see the crashes and freezing has gotten to you.
This place looks super spooky for a Pokemon game.
Take a walk through Lavender Town and say that shit again, Joe.
Lavender Town sounds nice. It sounds like it has lovely aromas, kind people, and overall a nice and cozy vibe.
Should we tell him?
Nah, let's not sour his pretty little image.
What the hell? This place is haunted. That kid just appeared out of nowhere.
Ah, yes, the magic of playing a game with the widescreen hack on and seeing janky shit like that. Marvelous, isn't it?
Not as janky as the audio having a stroke right there. I forget what he actually had for a Pokemon. Ladybug kind of fits, but I'm not sure exactly what he had.
I also noticed that either everyone's hands are smaller than the Pokeballs in this game, or they got a bit bigger.
In any case, let's embarrass the piss out of Chobin and get our little sister and go home. No, Joe, you're not going to escort her yourself, you creep.
How did you know I was going to ask?
Because it's in your fucking nature to do so when you see kids, Joe. That image of you sniffing a girl's hair will never leave our minds.
I do find it odd how he just doesn't care when a little girl is constantly going over to his place to see what he's doing. I know this is 20 years old, but if Jimmy Page knew what he did was wrong, so should Nintendo when they make stuff like this.
I'll never get over how cool this little cutscene is. I mean, I've seen it a lot due to the technical difficulties, but still, it's cool. Now let's see how far I get before I crash or see some shit to bring this run crumbling down again. All right, Naps, let's see what you have for me this time. You had an Articuno once, let's see if you have another legendary this time.
Why is he smiling if he's being abducted?
And Naps has the most forgetful Pokemon ever from this gen of Pokemon. I honestly forget this, and Illumise existed every time I play a Pokemon game.
And I can't just do a redo because of this, since I actually want to play the game and not see Crane get taken every fucking time. Well, at least Volbeat will be a punching bag before I get something that's actually good. Yeah, I stole your Pokemon for the umpteenth time. The fuck you gonna do about it?
I do think that they get to the point faster than Coliseum did, but Coliseum felt more held together than this. It didn't break when fucking with the graphics settings like this game.
Well, it's still a game made by humans, and humans make mistakes.
Yeah, but these same humans broke away from Genius Sonority to work with Game Freak, who also gave us the awful Sword and Shield games.
And cucked the National Dex, but that also could have been a decision from the higher-ups.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the port already.
Oh god, what's Zook's Zangoose going to turn into?
Well, on one occasion when the game crashed, Ardos was going to lose and the game has no idea what to do if he were to lose, so it freaks out and crashes. He better have something that's beatable, or I'll have to start this fucking run over again!
Damn, Don's super mad about potentially starting his run over again.
And of course, Jovi runs into Zook, and because Zook is a big-ass fucking man-child, he's going to cry about someone bumping into him, which prompts him to whip out his shadow Pokemon, kind of like a bodybuilder version of an incel.
Imagine being so uptight about having someone accidentally touch you that you have to fight a fucking little girl.
That's what Twitter users do all the time, though.
All right, Ardos, don't fucking lose this time.
For the sake of Don's run not crashing.
Oh my fucking god, that is the most hilarious thing ever! From a bloodthirsty Zangoose to a fucking small mushroom. Ardos is going to sweep this man.
I bet even Zook wasn't expecting his big mean Zangoose to turn into a shroomish.
He kind of reminds me of Nikki Haley. By that I mean he wants to win, is so desperate to win, but can never reach the heights he's wanting so bad. And that's why he's not an admin. Hell, not even a peon.
That's not suspicious at all, isn't it?